So welcome to the new video, and this car over here is the current SKODA FABIA. So this is the edition 30 model, which I'm not sure is sold somewhere else in Europe, but it's definitely sold in Slovakia. And it's mostly a basic SKODA FABIA. It doesn't have any special equipment, it's not top of the line model, it's a normal car. But before the video, let's have a sort of walk around the car. So of course you have the new design with the new lights. These are LED lights, not matrix LED, but okay. We also have the corner assist function and the fog lights down there. There is also an air curtain for improved aero efficiency. We also have aerodynamic 16-inch wheels with this aerodynamic cover, which can get very dirty from the brakes very fast. That may be a little disadvantage of it. In terms of tires, we have typical size 195, 55, R16. These are Continental Eco Contact 6 for giving you sort of the best fuel consumption possible out of the tires. Now on the side of the car, now of course there is this plug of the edition 30. What I like on the side of the car is this sort of line carrying towards the end of the car and connecting to the rear lights. This is really a nice design element of the car. I really do like that. Now in terms of design, the current SKODA FABIA is a really good looking car, both from the front and from the rear. The rear lights particularly are sharp, dynamic looking. I really do love them. There is also a decently sized windscreen in the back, so that is good. You have this sort of black pack on the car here and there. Now in terms of the boot, yeah, SKODA is always one of the best in class, and this, as you can see, is really big for its class. And you also have some practical things like this sort of hook for the triangle and another strap for the kit. And under the floor there is a spare wheel. It's a 15-inch wheel, so yeah, and you also have some tools in there. So yeah, really practical. Maybe the carpeting could be a little bit of a higher quality, but that's okay. Let's also have a look, check the space in the back. So let me just try it. Well, so if you want to be driven in the back, it is quite tiny in here, I have to be honest. Particularly if I compare it with the Honda Jazz that I'm also testing this week. This is really not sufficient for me. I'm really pushing my knees into the seat in front of me. There could be a little bit more space for the feet as well. And in terms of head space, it's okay. Now in terms of some comfort in the back, well, there isn't much to talk about. You have air vents, which is good, but then you don't have any connectors for charging your device. You have a decent sized bin in the doors with no carpeting, and also this sort of handle feels kind of cheap. There is a lot of cheap plastic in the interior, as it's a lower spec model. So we'll talk about the front side of the interior, the front part of the interior a little bit later. But the one nice thing I will show you is this handle, which I like, even though it feels a little bit cheap, and this design element FABIA on the dash, which is cool looking. But let's have a look at the business end of the car, which is the engine. So in this particular car, we have a 1.0 TSI with 115 horsepower and I think 200 Newton meters. And it's paired with a 6-speed manual, so this is a very typical VW engine. I think it's sufficient. The best thing about it being turbocharged is that it gives you this punch that you wouldn't otherwise get, and you still get really good fuel consumption out of it. So yeah, and being a VW group engine, it is sort of very easy to work on, so the mechanics particularly they will be very happy. And there is an AGM battery, which should last a little longer than the normal batteries, but it's a normal thing today. And other things I will talk to you in the driving, because what this car is about is driving. So let's take it further down the road and let's drive it. Well, welcome to the SKODA FABIA, and it's a reasonable interior of the SKODA for nowadays. So you have this decreasing line over the center of the console, and you have this sort of display thing. It's not as big of a display as you would get in a higher specification model, but it's really okay. You don't need navigation. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is great. Now, the one thing I don't think is the greatest is the air conditioning. I see absolutely no reason for not having more hardware buttons, particularly for choosing where you want it to blow. So all the time I have to go into the menu, which doesn't work on the first time every time, and I have to choose it there, and it's just not very practical solution to do, although you can set the temperature here with these rotating knobs, which is okay. Now there are some poverty buttons, of course, which is normal, but you have start and stop system off very fast. You have some decent space in here, also some card holder on the side and two USB-C connectors in the front. You have a separate space for the key. You have sort of 2 or 3 spaces for bottle, and a decently sized central armrest with 12-volt socket inside. Now what I like is that we have analog dials here instead of digitals, and on the steering wheel there is a shortcut button to turn lane assist, mainly the lane assist off, which is really great. So you can turn it off every single time you start the car very fast. That's a great thing. And then I like the steering wheel itself. It has nice leather around it, and yeah, it could be a little bit smaller, but it's okay. So yeah, and in terms of build quality, this is a lower specification model, so you get a lot of hard touch plastic here. It feels a little bit cheaper. It feels, I have to say, a little bit like a TSI. So yeah, you should expect that. And this car costs 17,000 euros, and there's a SKODA in the back. There is decent amount of space. It's okay for a small car, but anyway, this car is about driving, and so let's go and let's drive the SKODA FABIA on the road. Well, okay, so the first thing you sort of notice with this 1.0 is that it's very quiet actually. So you rev the engine very easily, high up to 3000 RPM, and you don't even know about it. So it is very, very quiet. The clutch is very light. So yeah, that's the very first impression you get. And now these cheaper variants of the car, of course, you must think about it. It's actually where it shows how the car is, and the most important thing is, of course, how it drives. So, and it has to be said that the current SKODA FABIA is a really good car to drive. Really well set up suspension. I was driving it fast through the corners, and the damping is really well done. They really have done a good job with that, I have to say. Also the torsional stiffness of the car. You can feel the chassis is stiff, and you can feel also the structure of the car is quite stiff, so that's a nice thing. And now I'm using the very fast turn off of the lane assist on the steering wheel, which is a great feature. I like it. So yeah, now here's a few bit of bends, so let's try to lean it in. Yeah, and also another great thing I noticed, the car doesn't lean into the corners. It just keeps its composure. It doesn't roll into the corners, which is nice. Yeah, really good. Now to the shift. So we have a 6-speed gearbox with a 115 horsepower engine, which is a nice thing that nowadays with these city cars you have 6-speed gearboxes, and they rev like 3000 RPM at 140, which is really okay and really good for the fuel consumption. Now, of course, it's not a hot hatch or anything, so the shift itself could be sharper and could be a shorter shift, but yeah, it goes reasonably, it's reasonably light, and yeah, it's quite okay to shift gears. So yeah, in this regard, again, very okay. In terms of the powertrain, well, the engine starts really breathing and pushing through the turbo from 2000 RPM. You really do feel that. Until there, it feels a little bit without a breath, to be honest. And in terms of gear ratios, the first gear particularly is really rather short. So many times it's a very short one, from 1 to 2. So yeah, but the most vital things, so the suspension and again, of course, the steering, they are very nice. The steering has reasonable heaviness and it's very precise through the corners, which is what I like. Through the bumps and compressions, the car doesn't bounce. So yeah, so it's a really controlled drive. It's a really well set up suspension in the SKODA, and I really do like it. So yeah, and in terms of fuel consumption, I was averaging on a longer trip 5.2 liters, which is really okay. I mean, I think you can also get that with the more powerful 1.5, but still. So yeah, SKODA Fabia, pretty nice car. Having a little bit of a lower equipment just shows you more about the car, and by the way, it's 1.2 tons, which is, yeah, it's not the lightest, but it's not heavy at all. So yeah, it's probably one of the best cars in its class if you take it as a whole. So yeah, I really do like SKODA Fabia, and more videos coming soon, and I hope to see you at them. So in the meantime, goodbye.